Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Giazmara Wildan. Today I will going to do final project listening comprehension. And part 1. Morning everyone. Quiet please. Right, okay. So today I'm going to give you some advice to help you prepare for the exam next week. So make some notes as I'm talking. Please, everybody ready? Now, while you're studying, eat food that gives you energy. Don't be tempted to eat sweets or drink cola. Sugar won't help you study, but fruit and cereals will. Apples actually are especially good. Find a comfortable place with plenty of light when you study, but not too comfortable or you'll fall asleep. Try and keep a positive mind. It's easier to study when you are positive and relaxed. Now, if you start feeling anxious, have a little break. Go out for a stroll around the block. Don't try to learn everything there isn't time. Just the important things, the things that'll get you the most point in an exam. And if you aren't sure about this, ask me. First, learn the main ideas and don't worry too much about the details. If you have time, you can come back later and read the details. Make notes of these key points and read them, then cover them up and try to remember all the points. Now, it might be boring, but repetition helps you to remember. Use past exam papers to study. They will help you understand what kind of question come up. There are plenty of past exam papers in the library. You can photocopy them and take them home. Take regular breaks while you're studying. A 5 minutes break every half an hour is usually enough. Get some fresh air and stretch your arms and legs. Drink a glass of water too. It's important to keep hydrated. And last but not least, good luck. I'm sure you'll all do the best. Part 2 is a dialogue. Hey, I'm reading this really interesting article about the human body. Yeah? Well, we know all about that from biology lessons. No, we didn't learn much at all at school. They're discovering loads more things all the time. Really amazing things. Did you know that only about 1/10 of the cells in your body are really? The rest are bacteria. What? I'm not really me. No, of course you are you. But you also have millions or trillions of bacteria in you. Ew. No, they are mostly really helpful. Someone did an experiment to see if animals can live without bacteria, and he found that a lot of them died or had to have a special diet. Animals need bacteria to digest food, you see, so we're better off with bacteria. Unless the bacteria are bad, but they are nearly all good. Oh yeah? And going back to cells, do you know how many cells have in your body? Quite a lot. I'd say a good few. Yeah, but how many? I don't know. I'm not a mathematical. 1 octillion. That's 7 plus 27 notes. I know it was a lot. Okay, that's an amazingly huge number. Almost impossible to imagine. But the really weird thing is that most of the atoms are empty space, just air or nothingness. And if you took out the empty space, you could fit your body inside a tiny cube which measures 1/500 of a centimeter on either side. That's about measuring 0.002 of a centimeter on each side. You'd be much too small to see. I can imagine that it sounds like something that would happen in a really bad Hollywood movie. You know, a mad scientist goes, I'm going to extract all the air from your body. Okay, enough facts for one day. Don't go. One last thing, did you know? No. Did you know that you probably have mites in your eyelashes? Mites in my eyelashes? What are mites exactly anyway? Yeah, they are very small creatures, like insects. Only not insects, they are about a third of a millimeter long, so you can't really see them. These particular mites live in eyelashes and eyebrows, but in mine? Well, maybe not. Only about 50% of people have them, and more older people, so you might not have any. Anyway, they're completely harmless, they just eat that skin. Yeah, right, harmless. I really would have preferred not to know that. Sorry, I mean really. Part 3, it's about the Lily sister. Once upon a time, there were three little sisters dressed in green who lived together in a beautiful palace which was owned by a great king. Such a beautiful palace as it was. The ceilings were made of turquoise and opal, and soft velvety green carpets covered the floor. Many other children lived with these little sisters, and they had such a kind nurse called Dame Nature, who taught them how to do their work well. For everybody had some work to do for the great king. Surely no one could be unhappy in such a wonderful home. And yet, I am sorry to say, one of the little sisters was always discontented. She knew, for Dame Nature had told her, that someday the great king would come to see who had done loving for work for him, and would give the good lilies beautiful white robes and golden crowns. But she was not willing to wait until the king was ready and saw fit to do it. When the sunbeam children came to play, she would hang down her head and sulk, and after a while they would leave her alone and play with her sister. When Professor Rain's school was out, and the jolly little raindrops coaxed her to play with them, she would say crossly, "You are too rough, let me alone." And they would go and play with the happy little sister as the sunbeams had done. For everybody loved the two good little lily sisters, who were sorry to see how naughty the only lily was. But they tried to do their best to help her and kept on growing. One day, the great king, who had seen how well they tried to do, thought they deserved their robes and crowns, so he sent the sunbeams dancing away to awaken the inhabitants of the palace for the crowning. Away they went, peeping through the curtains and flying into the windows of the palace and walking all the little children with kisses. Then they took off the old green dresses of the sister and put pure white robes on them and gave them crowns of pure gold. The other little sister wished then that she had tried to do right, and dropped until she faded away. Madam Wine and the Bird family gave a grand concert in Maple Tree Park. Everything was full of gladness, and the Lily sister held a reception all day, and many people came to congratulate them upon being crowned. Among their visitors was Beetroot, who kissed them and took them to a little sick friend. He smiled as she pressed them into his hands, saying, "Take them, please, for Easter." And in her sweet child language, she told the story of Easter and of the wonderful work the great king's son did for the people of the beautiful palace. And so the conclusion about the part one is about a teacher who is giving some advice about how to do better with exam. She said that to have good food and study, you don't have to study hard, you just need to study even if it's just a bit. Part 2, the conclusion is about a man and a woman that talking about human facts. The man started talking about it because he just read a book of human biological fact. And the part 3, it's about three little sisters who live under the great king. One day, they was told by someone they will get their crown and robes. However, one of the three sisters is eager and impatient. She wants hers now. Because of that, she came rude, unlike the other sister. When the time of the crowning comes, her sister get theirs while she drop and fade away. Or you can say it's about three flowers that one of it refuses water and sunlight, so it wither and gone. That's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.